If you're anything like me, you've probably grown up with the internet and online anime culture, and maybe you've seen these iconic girls around the net. These are known as the OS tons. They are gajinkas surrounding the Windows operating system. At least these ones are. Alongside them, we also have Mac tons, Linux tons, malware coons, you get the gist. Maybe you're even wondering what a gajinka is. To put it simply, it's the personification of an inanimate object, specifically where moe characteristics are added. Because of this, it's also known as moe anthropomorphism. And in the context of furry culture, a gajinka is a fan design of an animalistic character in a humanistic form. But according to the oscollection.net, there are 27 OS tons from the Windows family that I've counted. The ones that are most iconic, or the most well-known, are 2K ton, XP ton, 95 ton, 98 ton, and I guess I'll save the best for last. My future seems like one big past. MOE ton, or ME ton. ME ton was the first OS ton to hit the scene on the Nijiura channel of the Japanese image board titled Futaba, and since Windows ME was known for crashing 24/7, MOE is characterized as being clumsy and troublesome. The OS tons are generally characterized as being sisters to one another, and even though each one comes from a different artist, the designs are generally the same, along with their characteristics. Following the creation of other OS tons, we got an online fan series surrounding the world of the OS tons, similar to how fans of Earth-chan made comics of her, or like how Kei made the Hatsune Miku mix. There was even a fan-made anime opening for a specific comic titled Troublesome Windows by Toshiaki Futaba, which used the opening for the Colorful Heart visual novel. Troublesome Windows follows the OS tons serving the protagonist, Toshiaki, as maids. Toshiaki is the default username for people on Futaba, so I suppose it was meant to be a self-insert for the readers, kind of like a harem, maybe? Anyway, the fan-made opening for Troublesome Windows gave a lot more attention to the OS tons, specifically when it was uploaded to a site called Misfile. Alongside this, there were a lot of other animations made as fan art for the OS tons, like flash animations, which can be found on the Wayback Machine. And a lot of the merchandise surrounding the OS tens as well is fan-made, like the figures, for example. From what I've found, or from what I've noticed, a lot of the figures of OS tons are garage kits, which are like model kits for weeaboos. Within the OS ton cinematic universe, we also have Apple tons, who are characterized as being a big family under a big villa-style house. And in my head, this makes me wonder if the Appletons were supposed to fall under the archetype of being spoiled rich characters like Tsumugi from K-On! Or Miyuki from Lucky Star. There are two mangas that involve the Apple OS family, and they both have very different interpretations of characters like OS X and the house they all reside in. In one manga, for example, OS X is interpreted as a girl, whereas in another, she's interpreted as a guy. In terms of their feminine design, they bear cat ears due to the fact that Apple would refer to their systems by wildcats, and she is said to be an older version of OS 9, and she could be seen holding a document from time to time due to the fact that Macs were used for writing a lot of the time. The masculine personification of OS X is typically designed as a bipedal version of a jaguar, panther, tiger, so on and so forth. I'm pretty sure that in both... Okay, I didn't write about this, or I didn't write this in, but OS X is generally personified as being elegant and mature, and a self-destructive alcoholic. OS 9, also known as Sonata, is a lot like 2K Tan in terms of her personality, and she likes to paint, just like me for real. She's a lot more social compared to OS X Tan, socializing not just with the other Macs, but also the other OS Tans, with her best friend being MOE Tan. OS 9 Tan's living situation is different in both of the Mac Tan mangas, with her living in the house with the other Macs in one of them, and her living in a shack in the other one, where she keeps most of her painting supplies and uses Toshiaki-san as a model, and drinks with OS X Tan. According to the ostoncollection.net, there are 30 Apple Tans that I counted, but they do not receive a lot of attention compared to the other OS tons. Their house is either seen as being a Frutiger Aero Paradise or a Japanese-style house. And in the Frutiger Arrow one, the only Mac tons we get to see are OS X and OS 9 ton, and sometimes another one. The other one is thought to be an iPod ton, iTunes ton, or even an older version of the Mac OS. The other manga has the OS X cats, OS 9, OS X, and Toshiaki-san. Aside from OS tons, we also have browser tons, app tons, game console tons, site tons, and a variety of other Gojinkas that I don't really feel like listing here because there's a fucking lot. In terms of game console specific Gojinkas, I'm not going to delve into them too much here, but I feel like the Hyperdimension Neptunia series is a really good example of this, since it takes place in a world that's ruled by different kingdoms which are based on big game consoles like the Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo consoles, and the Sega consoles. The rulers of these countries are characterized as being Gojinkas of consoles, with Neptune representing the never-released Sega Neptune, Noir representing the PlayStation, and Vert representing the Xbox. Also, this next section, I just copied and pasted it from my draft. I didn't know how to transition that, so if it's off, I'm sorry. But, yeah. In 2013, Microsoft themselves caught wind of the OS Ton movement, and in Southeast Asia, they released the first official Microsoft-branded OS Ton, Nanami Madobe, who represented the Windows 7 operating system. She was first teased in an article announcing the bundle that she came with, which was limited from what it looks like. It seems like Nanami Madobe was specifically a mascot for the Ultimate DSP exclusive package for the Windows 7 operating system, and it included wallpapers of Nanami Madobe along with voice lines from supposedly Nanami Madobe, who was voiced by Nana Mizuki, the voice actor for Cure Blossom from Heartcatch Precure, and Hinata Hyuga from the Naruto series. And along with this, in Singapore, Microsoft released Inori Aizawa, who was an Internet Explorer Gojinka, who debuted in the AFA 2013 video via a magical girl transformation. Apparently, there was a Facebook page specifically for Inori Aizawa, but there wasn't a lot there aside from a website link, which didn't really lead to anything. I mean, I'll put up a screenshot of what it led me to, but yeah. Similarly, Nanami Madobe had a Twitter account in 2009 that would tweet news and updates about the Windows 7 operating system. According to the Instagram page for Microsoft, the most recent addition to the OS Ton collection is Windows 11 Ton. At least that's the most recent official one. The rest of the OS Tons are made exclusively by fans and quote-unquote amateur Japanese artists. I mean, I don't know why I'm putting it in quotes. I mean, you can decide if they're amateurs or not. The most recent OS Ton listed officially on the OS collection website is Windows 11, not Windows 11 Ton, Windows 10 Ton, who also goes by Madobe Toko. She represents the Windows 10 OS, and she's a gamer, like most Windows users. She's voiced by Nonaka. So, ultimately, what made OS Girls so neat and quote-unquote special to me? Well, beyond being just a product of the time, I think the characteristics surrounding them is really cool, and I also love the little universe surrounding them and the OTCU, I call it. But along with that, it's also really fucking cool that Microsoft actually caught on and used it for marketing. I do wish that there was more merch of the OS Tons, specifically MOE, 2K, and XP Ton, but there's none that I could really afford right now, so, yeah. At least I can look back and appreciate them for what they are. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed my deep dive on OS Tons, please consider subscribing to me and giving me a thumbs up. I mean, I don't do deep dives all the time, but I sometimes like deep diving on niche anime stuff, so if you like hearing about that from time to time, please consider supporting me. Anything is appreciated. Thank you.